Hello Internet, welcome to my hometown, Zhuhai, the coastal paradise of southern China. Last time I've shown you the best places to check out on the meandering shoreline of Zhuhai. Today, I'll be showing y'all the historical and natural aspect of it, and that includes Jin Tai Temple, one of the most well-known temples in Guangdong province, Jie Xia Own Town and Tang Jia Historical Old Town, and the only imperial garden in southern China. Now let's begin today's Zhuhai deep There's a small museum on the hillside. There are a collection of artworks such as Chinese calligraphies and wash paintings. Going up these stairs, we'll be reaching the Hall of Heavenly Kings. In the center of the Hall of Heavenly Kings sits a statue of Maitreya Buddha. Maitreya Buddha is depicted with a round, smiling face, exuding an expression of joy and contentment. People come to worship at this hall mainly to wish for joy, happiness, and peace in their lives and for their families. Behind the Hall of Heavenly Kings lies a courtyard featuring a towering banyan tree. Its tree trunk requires several people to encircle, while its canopy spreads like a colossal green umbrella. It turns out that this is a wishing tree. where devout men and women write their wishes on strips of red cloth, toss them onto the branches, and wishing their dreams about love to come true. After crossing the courtyard, you'll arrive at the Great Buddha's Hall. It has a much grander scale compared to the Hall of Heavenly Kings, adorned with intricate carvings, painted beams, yellow walls, and red pillars, exuding a majestic presence. In front of the hall are 3 ancient incense burners, each over 3 meters tall, cast in bronze. The incense burns continuously throughout the year as many devout Buddhists from the local community come to offer prayers and seek blessings. The grandest hall of all is the Guanyin Hall, which rises 3 stories high, adorned mainly in vibrant red and yellow hues, presenting a grand and awe-inspiring sight. Inside the hall houses the revered thousand-armed Guanyin, whose colossal figure emanates a sacred and untouchable presence. And the essence is that Guanyin compassionately guides all sentient beings to reach to the other shore, liberating them from the sea of suffering in this world. In front of the hall is a so-called release pond, filled with many turtles and fish released by devout Buddhist believers. There's an observation deck somewhere around the highest hall. Here, we could get a really good view of the pristine reservoir. We're going back down now. I've had a great time seeking peace and reconnect my childhood memories. The differences are the temple is now a completely finished construct compared to when I first visited. And also, I am now more grown to appreciate more things. After the temple, we're now going to Jie Xia Village. And this ancient village has been rated as one of the most beautiful villages in China. We're here for a special dish called the mud-baked chicken. I'll show you in just a few. Walking past the parking lot, you'll find an open space market filled with vendors, usually local villagers, selling their homemade products like sausage, dessert, snack food that are unique to their culture. Walking into Jie Xia Village, the first thing that catches one's attention is that the village was originally surrounded by a protective moat, a rare architectural feature that is a major characteristic of this village. Here we are at the restaurant. It's usually very busy on the weekends. This restaurant is very different from the regular restaurants in terms of the space and cooking method. I don't know what's an equivalent English word for this style. I would probably call it a farm-based, open space restaurant where they harvest and cook the food they grow from their own farm. This is where we'll be seated. FYI, it's a tradition in my region to rinse tableware for sanitation purpose. We ordered a combo with a mud-baked chicken, stewed tofu, and a veggie for around $30 for 3 people. Everything is pretty classic Cantonese dish. There's an interesting story behind the mud-baked chicken. According to legend, the Zhao family's mud-baked chicken was originally a delicacy, secretly made by the imperial kitchen of the 7th Song dynasty. As the 7th Song imperial family fled from pursuing Yuan soldiers, they arrived at the waterway in Doumen district Zhuhai, which is here. Due to famine and limited resources, the Song soldiers improvised by using mud as an oven, lotus leaves as pots, wild chickens to start a fire on the spot. This is the historical origin of the mud-baked chicken. After lunch, we decided to walk around the village. Inside the village, you can see a strong contrast of ancient and modern elements. The buildings remain in uniform, gray-looking, layered brick outlook, and the roofs are still made of tiles. The architecture of Jie Xia Village follows the traditional Guangdong Xiguan style, with unified architectural styles and reasonable layouts. There are also a few modern coffee shops in this ancient village. Most of the villagers have a family named Zhao, and according to research, they are descendants of Zhao Guangying, the younger brother of Emperor Taizu of the Song dynasty. In 2014, the Zhuhai government accelerated the promotion of the Happy Village project, based on the principle of protective development and incorporating elements of Lingnan culture and overseas Chinese culture into the surrounding landscapes of mountains, waters, and farmland. And Jie Xia Village is surrounded by a lotus pond, green bamboo forest, and clusters of fresh flowers, and the protective moat as you've seen earlier. This village still retains the charm of ancient architecture and the poetic beauty of its surroundings. Next, we'll be moving on to the new Yuanming Palace. It is China's largest Qing Dynasty themed cultural park and acclaimed as Seoul Royal Garden in southern China. It has been made free to public since probably a couple years ago. This place was my childhood paradise, and it used to cost a lot to enter. I remembered every time I came here, just felt like it's my first time because we could only afford to come very occasionally. The new Yuanming Palace is a garden built according to a 1:1 scale replica of the old Summer Palace in Beijing. Therefore, the construction of the new Yuanming Palace aims to recreate the old Summer Palace and allow visitors to see its appearance before its destruction by the British and French aggressors setting fire to it in 1860. This is Zhuhai, or Blessed Ocean. It's the largest lake located in the center of the theme park. This exhibition showcases the structure of the Qing Dynasty's 8 banners, the types of weapons used, and brief introductions to the 12 emperors of Qing Dynasty. This veranda is adorned with red lanterns on both sides, and the ceiling is covered with exquisite wall paintings. On this side of the exhibition, it showcases the study room of the young emperor, and on the other side is a typical meal for the imperial family with all the fine tableware and fancy dishes. This is the Hall of 10,000 Happiness. The entire white jade building winds its way like a floating bridge, and it signifies the gathering of myriad blessings and virtues. The Lianxi Pleasure Ground is a great place to avoid the summer heat and enjoy lotus flowers, usually bloom in summer. There's also cable cart here in the theme park. This is the stage for their grand imperial shows. The new Yuanming Palace has carefully selected 18 out of the 40 scenic spots from the old summer palace in Beijing, including classical royal architecture, Jiangnan classical garden architecture, and Western-style architecture. When visiting this theme park, you can witness the crystallization of China's 5,000 years of architectural art. Alright, coming up next is Tang Shaoyi is probably one of the most famous historic figures in Zhuhai. His house is now turned into a museum. He was a well-known political activist and diplomat during the late Qing dynasty and early Republic of China. In 1874, he became one of the third batches of Chinese students sent to study in the US, which was one of the earliest Chinese people who had studied in the US. Later, he attended Columbia University and eventually returned to China in 1881. He has made significant contributions to China's sovereignty, diplomatic interests, and the advancement of democracy and republicanism. He also had a private garden to himself called Gongleyuan, which just means happy garden. Now it is an outdoor park that is open to everyone, and there are many nice trails in it. There's also a wet market in the old town. I love seeing all these vibrant color fruits. They have these kind of shops that sells dry goods, a variety of vegetables. The meat vendors always have these kind of red lights. I think it's to drive out the flies. And lastly, this is the seafood section. The last spot I'm gonna show y'all in today's Zhuhai's deep dive is one of my personal favorite parks, Xiang Lake Park. It's the largest lake park in Zhuhai City. The most scenic spots in the park include the 7-mile walkway that connects to different parts of the city, the grand lake view, and the lush greenery. We're now taking the bus to go there. The bus doesn't drop us directly in front of the park, but we can easily bike the rest of the way to the front gate. Now we're at the front entrance of the park.
Is this what it looks like, honey? I'm getting used to never getting over this. Won't you be my Valentine? Not just for
This is the lakeside playground, which is designed for families with children. This is the Xiang walkways. It's built on valleys and slopes. People also call it aerial walkways. And this boardwalk extends for about 7 miles, formed in an S shape, weaving through the reeds along the way with breathtaking scenery.
talking too much, and it usually ends in regret. But then I see you over there dancing, and it all slows down, I'm rushing in now. And I've been trying to find my nerve endings. Won't you come on over later?
And this is the so-called Xiang Lake.
I'm just trying to feel my feet, trying to feel anything.
Man, there are so many fish in this lake. And this is a very nice wooden boardwalk that surrounds the lake.
It's rushing in. I've been trying to find my nerve endings. Won't you come on over later and waste my time? Is this what it looks like, honey? I'm getting used to never getting over this. Won't you be my Valentine?
And this is the Lotus Flower Pond. We came here last December, so not many flowers were blooming during that time. After the last visit, I can really feel how much my hometown has changed. I could see that the city government has put in a lot of effort in incorporating facilities that help local people live better, such as supporting rental bikes and having a mature and robust transportation system. Also, building all these nice city parks to promote green environment and connecting the communities. I hope these 2 episodes give you a good idea about the historical and modern elements of my hometown, Zhuhai.
All of my precious time.